while going through the scriptures and verifying from Genesis to Revelation, the Most High, Yahweh, Elohim, he does not demand his people to become certain religions, quote unquote. So those who use the New Testament to push Christianity, Yahshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ, did not use his own name to start a religion, nor his ways to make a so-called religion that people like to follow. And mainstream Christianity is branched off the Catholic Church. So all these different denominations of Christianity are branched off the Catholic Church, and there's still plenty out there who are convinced that's what the scripture says, when Jesus did not expect his disciples to start a religion called Christianity, nor any shape, fashion, or form at all. As such. Second is that you have people who are going to revisit the Old Testament from Genesis all the way into where the Apocryphal books, according to Josephus, reaches into the New Testament, and after the letters to reveal the War 70 AD. So in that area too, there's specific positions noting of what a Hebrew is and what a Israel is. See, the designations of the two, Ibri, that is Hebrew for one that crosses over the river, it's supposed to be spiritual. It's not supposed to be carnal in the first place. That's what the goal is to not be starting in the flesh and then trying to spiritualize the flesh. It's supposed to set an example of what the faith is. One who crosses over from a life that has nothing going for it, into the life more abundant unto the Father through his Son, to the Son of the Most High, that he sent to bring his creation back. So not only just Israel, but also as many as come to him, because his sheep hear his voice. And he has sheep that are not even of that fold, not even within the fold currently, that has to be brought in. And so even with those who know that they're Israelites, they're not supposed to be starting a so-called under the radar religion either. Just as Christians started their religion too, and they branched off the Catholic Church. Here's one thing that both of them won't tell you. Both of them will not tell you that they believe what the New Testament and the Old Testament says. And they won't apply what it says either in the proper areas too. To know when someone can be prayed for, that they may be restored, and when someone goes past the limit and goes to those boundaries where the best thing you could do is when they go to those kind of limits, to where they sin unto death, especially those who want to be presumptuous, self-willed, work the occult and the such, as well as practice murder, especially in their hearts and the such. It gets them in trouble with the Most High because they should know better, especially when they've been informed, and they want to say they are of the faith. So what's being communicated here? You have two extremes, two extremist groups that the Father is hardly invited in, that the Ruach HaKodesh is scarcely invited into the multitude of these two groups. There's only so many so-called Hebrew camps or Hebrew Israelite camps that want the Ruach HaKodesh around. And there's few Christian assemblies, groups that scarcely want the Ruach HaKodesh around too, the set-apart spirit, so that they're guided by the Most High and not guided by their flesh, and avoid and as well as resist being deceived. And then you have other groups out there that are branch-offs, where they were part of the same idea, and what happened is something happened to people, and they took their records, what they brought, their information that they were sharing, and they did what they can to mess that up too, intentionally. So those who are being evil, they attempted to corrupt the records too, and information. So you have all these different extremes where you have Christianity and you have Hebrew Israelitism. The so-called Hebrew Israelites, who, when you see their fruits of both of these groups, on one end and the other end, there's only so many people here and there as you can estimate that will hear, consider, and do what the Father wants them to do the will of the Father, of the Most High, so that they show forth fruits of righteousness, to walk in the Spirit, the Ruach, and not the flesh. Because you're going to know them by their fruits. There's going to be plenty of people still who need to come out of mainstream religion, because the Father did not call his people to religion. However, the devil has set up religion and forms of religion to deceive people, to counterfeit their relationship that they need with the Most High. So the devil tried to take the books of Israel by force and then make a whole bunch of religions and denominations out there, especially cults that present themselves in a religious fashion. And by the way, how it's going right now in 2025, there's people in Christianity as well as in Hebrew Israelite camps and groups that are being exposed left and right. They're showing you that even though they talk very good in front of that camera and act very particular and the such, there are those who are contrary to the faith of the Most High and His will, and are being exposed to the extent that it's embarrassing. And so, who you would say I am of? I am not a part of any of these extremes. The scripture from the Old Testament to the New Testament, from beginning to end, is very specific who a believer is.